Kara, do you have any news for us today?
Yes, I do. So, first off, Lon Strickler over at Phantoms and Monsters and Singular Fortean reports that multiple witnesses in the Chicago area have spotted a toddler-sized bat creature galloping across the ground on its wings in a style reminiscent of vampire bats. These reports come after several years of winged humanoid sightings in the area, drawing comparison to the legendary Mothman. The question hangs in the air like some sort of convalescent bat infant. Are they breeding? Because that sounds real cute, not going to lie. Researchers in China have created chimpanzees who perform more effectively on tests by introducing human genes for intelligence in utero. Brain size was unaffected. This is not actually the first experiment along these lines, since hybrid monkey-human brains, are extremely useful for studying Alzheimer's, among other things. But this may have been the most brazen chimera experiment to date, performed in China, where questions of ethics are not usually brought into the laboratory. Finally, scientists believe they may have solved the mystery of missing ships in the Bermuda Triangle. Roughly bounded by Miami, Puerto Rico, and Bermuda, the triangle may experience rogue waves up to 1,000 feet high, according to scientists at the University of Southampton. Yes, Chauncey's eyes just bugged out, for those of you who are listening, audio only. Apparently, the possibility of multiple tropical storms coming together from different directions may be a recipe for unusual and catastrophic phenomena in water and in the air. And lastly, in lifestyle news, I made my first serious attempt with a Ouija board this weekend with a friend. We summoned a ghost who purported to have killed his mother shortly before World War I and was thrilled to get the chance to return to Earth and brag about it. The ghost said it would speak on the record, but declined to give its name. It concluded the session by laughing maniacally and threatening this reporter. Happy Halloween, I guess. Back to you, Chauncey.
All right, I'm not sure where to start with this one. Toddler-sized vampire bats. You know,
Sure.
You ever seen a fruit bat?
Yeah, flying foxes.
Yeah,
All
that thing's like toddler-sized. That thing's huge.
It is.
Yeah.
But it's not a vampire bat.
No.
Vampire bats they kind of have to be small because their whole, modus operandi is to land on mammals unnoticed.
Not anymore.
Yeah, I think I would notice a toddler-sized winged bat creature landing on my back, but,
Yeah,
you know.
totally. I mean, my kids have been sucking the life out of me for like 18 years. But, I don't know. Yeah, that's some wild business right there. But, I mean, why not,
Why not? That's where you're going with that.
Well, sure. I mean, obviously, bats can get that big. Flying foxes are bats.
Yeah, so maybe that's all it is. Maybe it's a flying fox loose in the Chicago area, which in itself would be pretty interesting. But the thing is, flying foxes don't move that way. Vampire bats have this, particular method of locomotion where they kind of spring across the ground on their wings.
Oh, really?
If you've ever seen a vampire bat run, well, first off, you'll have nightmares for a while. Like, you will require therapy if you see that, because it's terrifying.
Right.
But that's kind of what was described by these witnesses.
Huh.
No one actually saw this thing flying, so maybe someone, dressed up their dog in like a bat costume for,
It was a
for funnies.
chihuahua with a head injury halfway in a black plastic bag. That's all. Somebody help me, please.
And everyone's like, oh God, what is that thing?
Yeah, totally. All right, the monkey apocalypse, that
Right.
is exactly what went on, at least in the reboot of Planet of the Apes.
Right? Yeah, so
it's like-
I found the article of this, and the cover picture was obviously just a picture from the reboot Planet of the Apes.
Oh, that's funny, because we used one from the original, but that's my style.
Yeah, you've got to. So it was from, Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Right,
The sort of prequel one where they explain how it happened.
Angry
Yeah.
Caesar. Angry look on Caesar's
I
face.
never watched it, but yeah.
Oh, really? They're great.
Really?
Yeah, they're great.
Oh,
Even the originals are great.
they're like, I don't know, lame. But Maybe I should watch it to, get a blueprint for how the next few
Yeah, you
years
don't
are
even
going
know
to
how
go.
scared you should be at this point.
No, I don't. But I read this and I was like, no, that's. First of all, no one would be that stupid.
Right, who the hell
We've
would
seen
be-
movies.
Right.
Like, what are they trying to do? And then I read Alzheimer's research. Okay, that's noble,
Right.
but it.
Well, I mean, if movies have taught us anything, it's we shouldn't mess with this stuff. Like in that one movie where they messed with the sharks and made them super smart by trying to cure Alzheimer's with shark brains.
Is that a movie?
Yeah, Deep Blue Sea.
Wow, okay. They were actually trying to cure Alzheimer's with shark brains?
Yeah, it's terrible. Yeah. It was worse than Megalodon. The Meg. It was worse than the Meg.
Well, that in itself is
Yeah.
a serious violation of scientific ethics,
Yeah.
is if they're doing anything, that could even possibly become worse than Megalodon.
Right. No, I mean worse than the movie.
No, I know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, totally.
Like, you have to think about your responsibility as a researcher.
Right, totally.
Is
Yeah.
the apocalypse you're heading humanity towards hackneyed and awful?
Right.
You got to think about these things.
Well, I have this argument towards musicians a lot.
Mhm.
People will be all, "Oh, did you see what he did on the guitar? That was amazing." And I'm all, "Yeah, but just because he could, really, should he have?
Exactly.
Maybe you should have, played something classy." And then finally, the Bermuda Triangle. I don't know. It doesn't explain any of the planes. I guess 1,000 feet. Maybe it does.
Well, no, probably not. But rogue waves are caused by high winds.
Yeah.
So one would think that might. And they're caused not just by high winds, but by, like, unusual patterns of crosswinds
Mhm.
that you don't necessarily get in most places. So it's reasonable to me that, pilots might fly in there and be like, what is happening? The plane was not built for, whatever's happening here.
And Rogue Wave is also a pretty good synthwave artist.
Oh, is it? So
There's that.
I was just kind of gathering that I meant the ocean phenomenon from context clues, but they could have meant the synth artist.
Right.
He's just paddling around there in a canoe
Right.
with a wetsuit, just sabotaging boats, shooting down planes.
And we don't have too much more time before our interview, but how'd the... So when you did this thing, I don't know, did you get the sense that something was really going on, or were you...
Well, I don't know. I didn't feel like I was, like, influencing the planchette.
Do you think she was?
I don't think so. Because a lot of the answers to our questions were just gibberish.
I see.
It was just kind of meandering around, and it was not at all clear what
If she
meant.
was, it was highly premeditated.
Yeah, but we did get some eerie answers. Like, we asked, are you happy to be back on Earth? Yes. Why are you here? To grieve. Okay, that's creepy. Grieve what? My mom. And then it's like, how did your mom die? All this stuff, and then eventually we're like, okay, your mom was killed at a young age. That's terrible. Who did it? And then it was just I.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's some stuff,
That's
man.
fun.
Yeah.
So, classic Ouija board. This was last night, so I haven't heard from my friend.
Well, nobody
yet.
goes on a Ouija board to have somebody be all, "I lived to the ripe old age of 90 and died in my sleep."
Yeah, it's just like, get out of
It's
here,
like nobody-
Gerald.
Right, yeah, nobody wants that. All right, we're
Put your
coming up.
crazy cousin on.
We're coming up on our guest here. We have an interview that Kara and I recorded earlier this week with Brian Forrester talking about ancient technology in Egypt. We had to pre-record it because he's from out of the country and out of the hemisphere, too. So come on back. You're listening to Radio Wasteland with our guest, Brian Forrester.